HW.
Hey, I'm the Sooze.
And Sooze, we have cloned another one.
It's getting fun now.
It's getting fun. It's the big box DMM.
Yeah.
It's the old school big pedal with the magic chip inside. Mm-hmm. I've owned this since you could buy them just at a regular Guitar Center, and it's one of my favorite. It's probably my favorite delay of all time.
Yeah.
I've never owned a real tape machine, but I think I like this more than those.
Yeah, it's got character for days, and
I've never had to clean it.
It looks really good.
It looks
I see
great.
a lot of these really beat up, and you can barely read them.
Yeah,
this one looks good.
Yeah, it's in great shape, and it is sort of the. I mean, you were just playing Streets there at the beginning, and it's that sound in a lot of ways. It's the sound I think people think of too when they think of Sunday morning praise and worship kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. That modulated analog delay, a lot of times as a dotted eighth, sometimes as other subdivisions. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to get it into the Kemper.
Yeah. I think we did a good job.
I think we did a good job. There's a little bit of magic dust voodoo that I don't know.
Right.
We can't put our finger on.
The Kemper should add like a
magic knob.
Or like a new algorithm.
Yeah, I think a suck and a magic knob. You can turn down the suck, up the magic.
Yeah.
All right, let's play these back to back. Play some chords, play some beautiful Sooze stuff. Here's the Kemper first. Yeah, it sounds great.
Yeah, it's the single delay. And it's set up with a little bit of modulation.
Okay, let's check it out. Yeah, we've got it on this switch here. Single delay.
Yep. And then pretty high mix. Like the Memory Man, we were talking about how it has a really strong first repeat, and we're emulating that by having it come in pretty noticeable right away.
Yeah, and that's one of the quirks of the Memory Man is like the Kemper gives you what you would expect if you were like designing a delay, which is like as we bring up the amount of repeats, the mix of all those repeats would come up in a logical way. Like first we'll raise the mix of the first repeat, and when that gets to a certain point, the second repeat will start coming in, and the third. But the Memory Man,
that first one stays really loud.
It's like it's really prominent, and you kind of have to get all three of them in there strong for them to really be even in the mix.
Yeah.
But that first one's always like right at you.
Yeah, yeah. And then what else we got? So we've got so the Kemper gives different kinds of modulation. There's the chorus knob, then there's the modulation knob, and then there's the wow and flutter. And so
chorus, modulation,
flutter,
and wow and flutter is like, so originally wow and flutter would be the tape warble, and chorus was added. See, early analog delays, like this analog delay was designed to sound like a tape delay.
Right.
So that's why they added chorus and vibrato, because that's what you were missing in other analog delays.
Yeah.
So wow and flutter really though simulates like what a tape would do. Modulation and chorus. What are your thoughts about that on the Kemper?
Yeah, the chorus one sort of has like a bit of like a comb filtering or like a I don't know what you would, like a phasey kind of sound to it.
To me, it doesn't sound deep.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I wouldn't even really call it chorus. Like here we've got vibrato and chorus. For.
It's okay. Every time that happens, we just put in a light bulb. They just saw a light bulb.
There's
we're
thinking. So the chorus and vibrato here just is really about the speed of the modulations. So the vibrato is going pretty fast. So here we use the one called, was it modulation, right? On there. And so I tend to prefer that one versus the one that's labeled chorus, just because it just sounds more like the, a regular delay.
Yeah, it sounds more like the the stuff in the Deluxe Memory Man. For sure, 100%. So chorus at 0, modulation 5.5. And look, we're going for this Deluxe Memory Man.
Yeah, and this is at maximum, by the way, on the delay time.
Yeah,
So,
and like almost nothing on the chorus.
yeah, just barely using it.
Because these units, if you'd like breathe on the chorus knob, it'll get way crazy.
Yeah.
And these all are a little bit different. Like how long did we figure out this Deluxe Memory Man actually goes for? It's supposed to go 550 milliseconds.
Or 430.
430. That's a big difference. You know, so the Edge, the reason he starts some of those songs is because the tempo is literally the maximum delay position on his, because you can't tap it in.
Right.
So then if he's in time with the pedal, then the drummer comes in with him.
Kind of easy to set up though. Just crank it and start playing. Yeah.
Although when one unit goes out and it was at 550, and then someone gives you a replacement unit and it's at 430,
That's a good point.
that's a noticeable, I think, increase in tempo.
Right.
Right?
All the fans are so confused.
Yeah, right. I mean, that must be. I'm sure they have to calibrate them and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. There's something else that goes on with the Deluxe Memory Man, and the people might have heard it.
Yes.
This circuit in here, this level circuit, is the exact same circuit as an Electro Harmonix LPB1, Linear Power Booster 1. It was the very first pedal that they ever released, and it wasn't even a pedal. It was, I'll put it right here in my hands, it was just a box with a jack at the end, and it was meant that you could put it into an input and then plug something into that. And you just had the little knob, right?
Yeah,
on and off knob. They built that into here. And part of the magic of the Deluxe Memory Man is when you click it on, you get a little something. And I think they did that because there's a preamp in the Echoplex. There's a tube preamp.
Right.
And then in the EP3, there's a solid state preamp. And it affects the tone a little bit. This one affects the tone a little bit, and it can give you a little bit of a boost.
Yeah, it's got its own level control, which can be louder or off, depending on where you set it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it seems like it's hard to get it to unity.
Yeah.
It seems to like, no matter what you do, there's the low end gets a little up, and the high end, not even just the delay being darker, but the dry signal gets a little bit. So we've tried to do something like that.
Yeah, so the EQ there is kind of just, tilting, so it's just boosting the bottom a little bit and then tapering off the highs, just to kind of get close to what that's doing in the preamp. And setting it that way, we didn't actually boost any of the output because it does get a little bit, more present when it's boosted like that, on the
Let's hear these again. Just play some chord and stuff and let the people hear sort of the difference in the EQ on the guitar tone itself.
Okay.
If you can listen to that, go ahead. It actually reminds me of the way that like an EP, like an Echoplex, does something to the sound, but it's really hard to describe what it does.
Yeah.
Like those EP pedals,
boosters and stuff, yeah.
There's almost like a little bit of like, I feel like the low end is a little more woody. It brings it up a little bit, and we could bring it up a little bit, but it does it in a way that it's sort of just, there's maybe a little compression. I don't know. It just makes it round.
Yeah, totally.
In a way that is difficult to replicate.
Yeah. And it kind of makes sense too with using it with a Strat and like an AC30, because it's just, it does kind of tame things and create a different texture on your guitar than just like straight in.
Totally. Let's try another guitar.
Yeah.
Let's see how they sound with a different guitar.
I like that a lot. That sounds great.
Yeah. What do you think of these two together with a different guitar?
I think they're actually closer with this.
I was going to say the same thing. It's the low end thing. It's sort of, it's not just EQ. It's not just a boost, because what I feel like is in on the Strat, it's almost there's some amount of like compression evening out something, because the low end seems to be more prominent on the Strat, where when it's a thinner guitar, and when there's more low end in there, it's a less noticeable difference.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is kind of something compressors do.
Yeah, totally. Guitar dependent,
All things aside, this is a kick butt sounding like delay kind of patch thing.
Yeah, and we've had the single delay in there for a long time. It's just I think it comes in certain ways where people don't know what to do with some of the EQ. Where do I set that? Where do I put some of the modulation? Do I turn them all up? So it kind of just pares down to like, this is what you need to get this particular sound.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they can download this.
Yeah.
On YouTube, it's down there. On Facebook, it's up there. And they can get it along with a whole bunch of other stuff. The Klon preset, the KOT, 1981 performances of stuff together, just some ambient stuff we did.
Yeah.
There is so much on the Tone Junkie tips and tricks page. It's really,
and we're not slowing down.
We're
ramping up.
We're speeding up. We're speeding up.
It's good.
I think that for me, I always loved having this Memory Man on my board, and but obviously there's challenges with it. It's big, the knobs and stuff. For me, the thing it does is great. This patch is close enough to do it. Yeah. There's a little bit of like magic dust that I feel like the real Deluxe Memory Man has, that I've not really heard in anything else. Even like I remember when we all had timelines. Yeah. And you, me, and John too we tried to match the timeline to this, and we got very close. Yeah. And John too used it. We talked about it on the podcast recently. John too used those settings up until he bought a Kemper, and he loved it. It was great, and I'm sure it captured 90% of it, 95%.
Yeah, totally.
And I feel like we're in a similar place.
Yeah.
For what I like the DMM for, this does that. But that's that. So, Sooze, where can they can download this, right?
It's like down here and up there, depending on where you are.
Why don't you play us out, because I think our lunch is here.
Okay. Lunchtime.